I like to thank the Academy for this award. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Thank Grant It's Friday? I don't even know if I'm comfortable calling myself Grant in this look, but this look is kind of a representation of the theme this week. This week's theme is actually drag tips and tricks, and I wanted to show you guys that drag is a process. This look kind of went downhill. All of the contouring is great, but I wanted to show you guys that drag queens don't just start out looking like absolute fish goddesses. So in this video, I will actually be teaching you how to highlight and contour. However, I just want to show that, we can all be a little bit of a hot mess at times, and I know I am. So, embrace the hot messness and your red jumpsuit that you just scored from a thrift store, and your sequin background from Joanne, and just make it work. Libra, Cancer, cool, yeah. I look effing cool. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so we are ready to start. The first step is to make me look a little bit less like a round bulbous egg with beautiful acne scarring. So I am going to take my Smashbox Photo Finish primer, and this is actually great because it minimizes pores and it gives a really clean coverage for grease paint that we're going to put on to actually highlight and contour with creams. And then I'll go back with powder, but we'll explain that later. So I'm just taking that on a damp beauty blender on my hand and just putting a thin kind of layer all around my skin. Whoa! I'm going to put on my Krylon TV paint stick, and this just acts as my base for my highlight and contour. So I'm in the color 2W, and I picked this up at Abracadabra in New York City when I was there, and it was actually much cheaper than getting it online, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I used to use the Mehron Cream Blend Sticks, but this is worth investing in if you're a teen queen because it really, really does the job, and it just gives a super, super high coverage, which is needed if you want to do drag. Cover girl, don't cover boy, baby. Oh. This area. I also do a little bit on the neck, just because that line of demarcation can be a bit vast at times. We know, Willem. We know. Billionaire Bronze from the stick and actually intensify the contour, because I'm a drag queen, a teen queen, and drag queens have pretty intense contours. Fun fact, the huge contouring trend that everyone is obsessed with on Instagram right now, and have been for the past few years, that came from drag queens, okay? So respect and learn, children. These are your mothers, okay? Just putting that out there. Blend out with my handy dandy beauty blender in a circular. Ignore that mess in the middle. We are going to highlight. So I'm going to go in with my MAC concealer palette, and I'm mixing NW15 and NW10 on a little paddle brush kind of thing, and we're just going to place highlights strategically. So definitely under the eyes. It's kind of obvious, but a bit of color underneath the eyes, and then Cupid's bow right here above the lip, right in the chin, underneath the contour if you want to fake a contour, and then in the middle of the forehead, and yeah, just like in a little circular shape. Actually blend most of this portion with my fingers, clean fingers, just because at this point my beauty blender is so trashed with color that it's useless. So blend all of that color out with fingers, and sometimes I've even found that skin on skin contact is actually the best, so just putting your finger on your face, I don't know why, it just disperses product more evenly. Alright, so now I am back and I am here to teach you all how to powder. So I powdered my entire face just with Ben Nye, there you are, Ben Nye Neutral Set, which I'm running freakishly low on. I hope I can get more soon. But now I'm going to teach you how to cook. So, take some cocaine in your hand. That's great. And then, just use your beauty blender, the top of it, and pounce it in the powder. Then you have some powder on it. And then just begin to place that powder under your eyes first. And then underneath, a little bit on the chin, if I'm not talking, and then underneath the contour. Your nose contour too far, it'll make your nose look really broad. So I place it just like that. Okay, so for my contour, sorry I'm crouching. For my contour, I like to go in with two colors. I go in with a mixture of MAC Harmony and MAC Shadester Blush. Thank you, Katie. And I mix these two together and they become my powder contour. So just going to take a MAC, I believe it's a 168 brush, and I'm going to mix the two together. I use a bit more Shadester than I do Harmony, but the colors are very, very similar. Shadester is a bit warmer though. So it gives me a nice in-between color. So going in, I like to contour in circular motions with my powder, just like we did with the pouncing earlier to get the cream on. And then, while it may look really intense right now, we're forgetting that there's white powder right there. So, once that's not white anymore and it's more of a pale bone color, when I buff it out, this is going to look much less intense, but then again it's drag. If you don't want to be max, you've got to be intense. Where that you put the cream contour again over with powder. Because once you set it all with Neutral Set, even though it says it's translucent, it does dull the color quite a bit, and it makes it less intense of a contour, so you've got to go over with powder and really buff that mother effer in. Cooking. This really helps to just create the face as one whole, nice skin color tone canvas art. Makeup! What the hell is that? Okay, so now for blush, I'm going to go in with MAC Cheek blush. Very creative name. God, MAC. So MAC Cheek. And I'm going to mix that with a bit of, where did you go? And just take it in circular motions on the apples of my cheeks. It does kind of bring some more life back to the face because I look like a ghost with, a ghost from the Jersey Shore that had a hat over her face while she was tanning and just got tan on the sides, so we're gonna change that. Super intense blush, and it's actually kind of near my skin tone. Again, pile on the blush, we're frickin' drag queens. And then you can go into the contour on the temple, which I've seen a lot of queens do, and actually use your blush. I learned that tip from Cake. Apparently Marilyn Monroe did that as well. So yeah, you can kind of just warm up the whole face with a bit of blush. But generally the cheeks. Final up close and personal step, I'm going to highlight the face using a few different products. So I'm going to use a mixture of Chanel Converse. I don't speak French. I'm not classy that way. It's one of her cream eyeshadows, but it's amazing for a blush because look at that pigment. Just look at how freaking glimmery that is. It's like my favorite thing ever, and I'm close to being done with it towards the end of the pot, but I'll swatch it for you. It's like, it just fell all over my floor. It looks like that. Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm gonna go in with a little Morphe brush, a little blender brush, M511. I'm going to put that all over where I highlight. So I'm going to highlight towards the top of the cheeks right here, on either side, and on the Cupid's bow, of course. A lot on the Cupid's bow. Already did the nose. And do a bit of the chin, forehead, and brow bone. NYX Roll-On Shimmer Glitter in the color Salmon, which Katie also introduced me into. Just follow her on Instagram. She's freaking amazing. Katie Suhu. Subscribe. Okay, so it's super glimmery, as you can see. More on the brush, and then just gives a nice shimmer. So you can place it directly on top of that Chanel because the Chanel is a cream powder mousse kind of thing. And this is strictly just kind of a glitter powder, so it should stick on nicely. So I'm going to do the rest, sorry. Oh my god, my background doesn't exist. So I'm going to do the rest of the face, just some simple eyes and a nice bold lip, throw on a wig, and I will see you in a second. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at GCarbonMUA, on Twitter, Grant_Carbon, and go to my online makeup artistry portfolio, grantcarbon.com. Also, be sure to follow all of us teen queens, the real teen queens on Instagram, and teen_queens on Twitter. Also, be sure to follow our Facebook page at Teen Queens, and for all business inquiries, be sure to email us at therealteenqueens@gmail.com because we want more of everything, as you all already know. So until I see you all next time, remember to stay fabulous, stay fierce. Don't worry if you have a hot mess day. We all have them. Just embrace it. And until I talk to you next time, remember to have androgyny without apology. Bye. It's a look.